This is an excerpt from the Ascended Master teachings from the Bridge to Freedom journals, and it's excerpts regarding fear, its causes, and our remedies. This is from Beloved Archangel Michael. My 20-hour shift is now 22 out of the 24. When I go through the inner atmosphere of Earth, through the etheric, mental, and emotional consciousness of the peoples, I find that grey substance, which is the emanation of fear, of war, and bombs, of plagues, of epidemics and diseases, and cataclysmic activity. It's greater than any time since before the sinking of Atlantis. I have never seen such a smog of fear within the consciousness of the peoples than at present. We have drawn from the systems above us added members of the Blue Ray, the Angelic Host, to assist us in the tremendous task of transmuting this emanation. Now, what exactly causes that? An individual, let us say within a family unit, reads, hears, and senses something unusual. Immediately from his physical body and inner vehicles, this grey substance flows out. That is picked up by contamination by his immediate family, and then it flows out from the family into the town. From the town, it flows out into the county, and thence into the state and the nation, because of the great mechanical contrivances that enable mankind to communicate with the entire population of the earth in a matter of several seconds. That is how this grey substance is thrown off. The people actually live within it, and we spend a great part of our time, beloved ones, hovering over the inner vehicles of the people in an endeavour to draw off that substance. It is sticky and difficult to release, even from the hands of those who have never known human embodiment. It is extremely reluctant to let go. Yet we do that and repeat it over and over on this 22-hour shift in which we are now engaged. The angels of the violet fire and the angels of purity's legions are assisting us in changing the quality of that energy. While the bodies sleep, wherever possible, the silent watchers of the localities bring individuals to our retreat at Banff in Canada, and if they are not evolved enough to enter into the temple itself, they at least get the radiation of faith in God in their etheric bodies while they remain in the gardens outside. Then the homes are cleaned up. The families, the towns, the villages, counties, states, and nations are purified before the people wake in the morning. That is a 24-hour task for the celestial helpers, because some people somewhere are awake as the earth turns on her axis. Remember the contagious power of fear. You may think you are immune to fear, but you have not felt the mass pressure of an entire nation in distress, of an entire planet undergoing a change. I advise you in love to make your calls to the infinite I Am Presence, to blaze through you every power and activity of purification, and to remove from you every cause and core of fear known and unknown in your being. You see, dear ones, many of you went down with Lemuria, many of you went down with Atlantis, and many of you have suffered serious disturbances and violent death at the hands of the elements in various lives. These are deeply embedded etheric records. That is why some people do not like the sea. Some people do not like the sound of the wind. Some people do not like the feel of the earth beneath their feet. Some are afraid of fire. It is because in some past embodiment there has been an experience which seemed at the time a tragedy to the outer self, and that fear is inherent in your being, until we can strip you down to bedrock of your own Holy Christ self, and you stand absolutely non-recordant to the contagion of fear from the outer world, or the connection with fear through the Achilles heel of the fear consciousness which is within you. I ask you privately to make special application during this period, and I also ask you to please sustain yourselves in harmony during this period as well, even if it does require that you do not do as much physical work as you wish to do. Your harmony is your protection. You are welcome to all of my harmony that you choose to call forth. Now, at Banff, the temple itself is about 5,000 feet in circumference. It is circular in shape, having 4 entrances, one at each cardinal point of the compass. And we have had visitations from various beings representative of the nature kingdom, the angelic kingdom, the human kingdom, and the solar logi, all offering every god assistance in the development of faith in God which I am so desirous of conveying to you. There are 49 steps leading up to any of those doors, so it requires a determined life stream to even make the effort to climb 49 steps. No, we have neither ramp nor lift, so those who come to us with a rather lukewarm interest usually curl up on the lawn outside the fountains, or find themselves a comfortable seat and absorb the radiation, leaving the 49 steps to the few. However, all of you who have climbed more than once, and often you have gone down quicker than you have gone up. It is always that way, you know, dear ones. It is easier to go down than up. But now you are on the way up again into the heart of that temple which we have sustained through the ages in the etheric realms as a focus for faith. This is from beloved Lady Metta, who is the daughter of Sanat Kumara. My activity, you know, is connected with healing. You have heard me tell how, when I was allowed to come to visit Shambhala and see my own beloved father, I asked if I might remain with the earth, seeing all that he was doing and his great and loving patience, the billions of life streams for whom he was responsible, and knowing that the beloved Venus had full responsibility of another star, I thought perhaps in some small way I might assist Sanat Kumara in the activity of healing. So I took my abode, after visiting the 7 spheres around the earth, in the 5th realm, and for a time acted as Chohan of the 5th ray. This office is now held by the beloved Ascended Master Lord Tellurian. Then you will remember I had the joy of visiting the etheric cities that are located over all the continents and seas. I made special application to the hierarch of those etheric cities, asking if I might train groups of 7 individuals to direct light rays into conditions that needed healing in the physical appearance world, as well as the mental, emotional, and etheric realms. I was kindly accepted by all of these blessed ones, and for many, many years this activity of radiation from the etheric cities has poured forth constantly into the receptive consciousness of all those who require healing, all those who desire to be a foci for healing, spiritually or materially, from the medical standpoint. I would like to bring the service to your attention again, because at the present time you are witnessing just the forerunner of experiences of fear that rise from the plagues, diseases, and their various ramifications. These etheric cities are real. The beings in the 5th sphere are dedicated and consecrated to direct light rays into the cause and core of all germs, plagues, epidemics, and disease of every kind, and they are capable, through those directed light rays, to dissolve those impure manifestations. As we have not spoken to you so recently, and as the time is upon us, when we require the assistance of your attention upon these etheric cities and upon myself and those of us who serve there, I have been given the opportunity of speaking to you, to bring to your remembrance my service and the service of those who are trained to direct the light rays into these conditions and dissolve them. Because when you come to the science of removing disease, whether it is a plague, a germ, or an epidemic, it is only a manufactured foci. It can be manufactured by carelessness through physical individuals who do not observe the cleanliness required to sustain the physical body. It can be manufactured unconsciously by individuals whose thoughts and feelings are impure and vicious, and these things can also be manufactured consciously by individuals who have been trained in the development of certain cultures and the expansion of them for certain destructive purposes which are not for the benefaction of the race. If you will be so kind as to help me and to call the beings within the etheric cities to direct their mighty light rays into, through, and around every consciousness who knows or does not know that he is manufacturing disease, until there is dissolved from within that consciousness the capacity to create impurity, I shall appreciate it very much. It will do so very, very much to relieve the people of the pressures of fear that rise up when certain epidemics come forward. Beloved ones, fear is a strange force, we shall say. We have often said if people had as much faith in God as they have in fear in human appearances, this planet would have been self-luminous centuries ago. Fear is a feeling, and it multiplies anything that your attention is upon, while you have that fearful consciousness around you. Faith in God is a feeling, and that multiplies any good thing that you have your attention upon. It is to be regretted that the mass entities which lie within the etheric consciousness of the peoples of the earth so quickly tie into any type of calamity, not only when it is in action, but when it is even in a causative state, when the outer mind becomes cognizant of the activity. Let us who are endeavoring to work with the spiritual hierarchy and the Great White Brotherhood use the faith of God instead of human appearances on everyday living. Check yourself time and again upon this quality. Feel no condemnation or self-depreciation. But if fear is acting, beloved ones, through the power of transmutation, that fear can become a tremendous faith in good. It is just a case of changing the quality of that energy.